All right. Jon Breland here from Holistic Ascension with your Monday morning motivation. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about discipline and consistency. Why is that important? Why is talking about discipline and consistency important? Well, discipline and consistency, those are action words. Discipline and consistency, those are things that you do. And so why would you engage in this action? Why would you engage in this action of being disciplined or being consistent? You want to have that in your life because you need it in order to make any kind of change, and especially any kind of lasting change. The things that we're trying to accomplish, the things that we're trying to make our norm in our life, in order for us to accomplish those things, we need discipline. We need consistency. Without it, it's not going to be able to stick, those things that we're trying to change, but also it's not going to last. And so it's important that, we have those things, we have those pieces, the discipline and the consistency. The biggest reason, in my opinion, why we fall off from our goals is because of lack of discipline. It's because of lack of consistency. It's not because, we're afraid to start. I think we start a lot of things, but can we stick with those things? Can we stay committed to those things? Can we make those things a part of our norm? And so I'm using this word thing a lot, but I want you to recall what that thing is for you. The goals that you might have, the things that you're trying to accomplish, whether that's financial goals, spiritual goals, physical goals, relational goals, your goals that you have with your family, the goals that you have within yourself, the goals that you even have for your commitment to your community. If you have made any choice or any decision to show up differently for your community, I want you to recall those things that you're working on, that you're working toward, that you're striving toward, and understand that to be able to accomplish that, and also to be able to have that and keep that for a long period of time, that longevity piece, it's going to take discipline and it's going to take consistency. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How do I know? How do I know this to be true? Because I've been there. I'm still there. I'm still in a place where, discipline and consistency is important to me, but also discipline and consistency, it's not a place that I feel like we arrived to and we've made it. We have attained it. We have, reached that place. I think it's a mindset that we get towards. And as we become more consistent with it, with discipline and consistency, as we invite it into our world, into our experiences more frequently, then our ability to stay disciplined, our ability to stay consistent, it increases. So as I've walked this journey of peace and finding ways to control my emotions and control my responses, it has put me in a place of being more mindful when there are opportunities where I might lose my cool and revert back to the old me. But it's because I've been able to incorporate, these ideas of discipline and consistency that I'm going to talk about today. But like I said, I promise, when we add discipline and consistency to our regular responses and our regular routine, we make a holistic change to our future. Not only does it just change, the consistency and the discipline, it changes our mindset. It changes our automatic responses. It changes our automatic default. It brings into awareness how we're interacting in certain spaces. It changes our output. It changes our being and our existence in the world around us, with the people that we come in contact with different interactions that we're having with people and with ourselves. And definitely it does that. And it changes our state of being when we're able to be consistent and we're able to be disciplined. And once again, we talked a little bit about this in our last motivational video. When you start to have this success of being disciplined and being consistent, your confidence goes up on a holistic level. Your confidence in your ability to kind of control your emotions and to control how you show up and how you interact. Your confidence, just like I said, in your ability to make those changes. And once you have confidence in one area of your life, it starts to bring you more confidence that you can be successful in other areas of your life. Because it's like, wow, if I can commit to going to the bar but choosing not to drink, it makes you wonder, what are the other areas in my life that I can also be confident in? I wonder, can I be more confident with, waking up in the morning? I wonder if I can be more consistent and disciplined when it comes to waking up in the morning, when it comes to going on a daily walk, when it comes to drinking more water, when it comes to checking in with certain family members, when it comes to getting things done that I've been putting off, on for a while now. It really starts to have you think, especially when you're able to create a framework of what it takes to be disciplined and what it takes to be consistent. That framework, that foundation, is what is going to allow us also to transfer those skills to other areas of our life and still find ourselves to be successful. So just some things to keep in mind. But also, how do we do it? Like, how do we incorporate consistency? How do we incorporate the discipline? Well, it starts with the little actions. Honestly, it really does. For me, it was, as simple as I'm sitting in one area of my house and the microwave goes off because, my food is ready, or my tea is ready, or whatever it was that I prepared is ready. It's that simple challenge of yourself to say, as soon as that thing goes off, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go grab my tea. I'm going to grab the food. Even if I'm in the middle of watching a movie, even if I'm in the middle of the craziest action scene that's about to happen, challenging myself to say that I'm going to pause this movie and I'm going to go get whatever, I prepared, for myself. Now let's rewind it back. How do we get to that point? We get to that point by having conversations with ourselves to say, when this thing happens, I will do this. This will be my response. No matter what, come hell or high water, when that microwave goes off, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. And I'm processing that in my mind. And not only that, it's just, we can expand that to other areas of our lives, which is when I'm done watching 3 episodes of whatever show that I'm watching, I'm going to begin to clean my house. And so if you're watching, or if you're using certain streaming apps and stuff like that, when certain commercials come up, you can remind yourself, okay, 3 more, episodes, and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to clean my house. Okay, 2 more episodes, and then I'm going to get up and I'm going to clean my house. You have to continue to prime yourself to do those things. Not only that, here's another way. These are things that I've actually done in my life that have worked for me. So I can't say that I'm going to guarantee that it's going to work for you. But what I will say is that this is a good place to start if you're looking for a place to start. Another good thing to do is, once again, if you're watching TV and on your streaming apps and things like that, you've got these commercials. Use the commercials as breaks to do the things that you've been putting off. Not anything big, but something small. Okay, hey, on the next, a commercial, I'm going to go take out the trash real quick. Run to the kitchen, take out the trash, put the bag back in, run back outside, boom, come back, cool. Next commercial, I'm going to go grab some water. How many of us have that goal to drink more water? You will actually drink more water when it's more readily accessible to you and for you. So, hey, on the next episode or next commercial that I'm watching, I'm going to run to the kitchen, fill up my water bottle, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start this show again. So once again, the reminder is start with small actionable steps that you can take and try to be consistent with those small things by identifying what that is and then reminding yourself as you're, experiencing or going through your day, what those things are so that you can be primed to it. Once you start with those small things, then you want to start to grow and make it a little bit larger. And so maybe that looks like, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to only watch 2 episodes of whatever my favorite show is, or I'm going to challenge myself that, for a bigger goal, a bigger challenge, which is to maybe I'm going to go wash my car, after, this episode is going to cause me to have to get up, throw some clothes on, either I'm going outside to wash my own car or I'm going to the car wash to wash my car. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is start with something small. Start with something manageable, and then you add to it and you grow to it from there. And actually, if you think about it, it's actually the same thing of when we're starting our goal of going to the gym. I don't think that it's in our best interest that when we're going to the gym to start off with a large goal, if we haven't gone to the gym in a long time, to say that I'm going to go to the gym 6 days out of the week. That's a pretty lofty goal for anybody. But it's easier if we start with more manageable goals. Maybe we say that I'm going to start off going to the gym 2 times a week, whatever it is that you know that you can commit to 2 times a week, even if that's 1 time a week. What's going to happen is we're going to grow that over time. What's going to start off with 1 goal a week is going to increase to 3 goals a week, what's going to start off as 1 workout a week is going to increase to 3 workouts a week and could increase to 4, 5, maybe 7 days out of the week. Maybe every once in a while we throw a double day in there and we go to the gym 2 times. But we don't want to set a goal that's too lofty, where we're trying to do 7 workouts and we haven't been to the gym in 3 years. That's not realistic. So start with something small, start with something manageable, and then kind of grow it from there. So here are a few takeaways from today's message that I'd like to leave with you guys on the topic of being consistent and being disciplined, and how do we accomplish that? How do we start to incorporate that in our lives today? So number 1, start setting small goals every day. Start with something small. Doesn't have to be drink a gallon of water. That's where I'm at in my life, is to drink a gallon of water every single day. It's going to be hard for anyone who isn't drinking, say 20, ounces of water to try to get up to, a gallon of water. That's going to be pretty tough. But where can you start? Can you start with drinking 2 glasses of water every day? Is that something that you can do? Or can you start with drinking 1 glass of water a day? Can you start with saying no to soda on the weekends? Just on the weekends. Where can you start? So keep that in mind. Start with setting small goals every day. And you can actually set this in the beginning of the day by setting your intentions for the day, that this is what I want to focus on, and accomplish every single day. Now, as you're working through your day, you also want to be able to keep that in mind, that this is my goal for the day. So with these goals that we're committing to every single day, try to see if you can commit to these small goals for at least a 2-week period. Whatever that goal is for yourself, try to see if you can commit to that for at least 2 weeks. From there, then we will add to that and grow those goals. If you've started off with drinking 2 glasses of water every single day, after the 2 weeks, you can assess for yourself. Don't allow me to tell you what should the next step be, but think for yourself what you feel like you can accomplish and what your next step is, and add to that. Other things that we can incorporate in our lives that can help us by staying in line with our commitment and our consistency is telling other people about it. Letting other people know what are the goals that we're trying to accomplish and what is the plan that we are putting in place to accomplish those things. By letting other people know, they can actually help us to stay accountable for those things. If we're telling people that, we're not drinking alcohol or we're not smoking or doing any of those things, they can check in with us and say, hey, how's it going? How are you feeling today? Things like that. And if you're feeling like, you feeling that itch and, you're feeling like, I want to have a drink or I want to smoke or I want to go call this person that I swore I wasn't going to talk to in such a long time. Call your accountability partner first and check in with them and see, if that has any kind of an impact. Have people check in with you about your progress. Talk to people about how you feel about your progress. What's working? What's not working? What are some things that you might want to tweak and change and things like that? As I mentioned before, I'm a very visual person, so creating visuals definitely helps me. So creating that to-do list and writing the small things out that I want to change and being able to mark those things out, creating a calendar for each day, of these are the things that I want to accomplish. I want to drink 2 glasses of water today. On my lunch break, I want to, walk around, my workspace area, for 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be an hour, doesn't have to be 45 minutes or anything like that. And being able to check those things off. Another thing that can be very helpful is doing morning and evening assessments every single day. So in the morning, you might be able to assess, these are the goals that I want to accomplish for this day. And this is how I'm going to accomplish these goals for this day. And then that's a great time to set those alarms for ourselves and those constant reminders and things like that. Also, at the end of the day, we can assess and we can see, especially if we're a visual and we're looking at our to-do list, we can see, how did I do? How did I score out, with accomplishing my goals today? And then really checking in with yourself to see what got in the way of me reaching my goals, or what helped me to be successful. Was it because my accountability partner, they called me? Was it because, I had those reminders? Or what were the things that helped me to be successful? Once we can build on that, we can continue to do those things in the future and stick with what's working. So finishing up with our topic on discipline and consistency, why is this so important? Why is it important to incorporate discipline discipline and consistency? Number one, it's important because having discipline and having consistency, I think, is one of the highest forms of self-love. Being able to commit to yourself, being able to stay committed to yourself, being able to stay committed to the goals and the commitments that you've made with yourself is really important. And there's just this feeling of freedom that I think that we experience and that we feel when we have set goals for ourselves and when we've stayed committed to those goals. And there's also just an increase of confidence within ourselves. And I've talked about that a lot. I've said that a lot today. But I think that it's very true that when we are able to commit to ourselves and stay with that, that confidence, in ourselves, it really increases. And once we start to feel this shift and feel this change, we feel it because we are transitioning into a different version of ourselves, the next level of ourselves, the elevated version of ourselves, when we're able to increase that commitment and increase that consistency. Our whole being, our whole existence, our whole interaction, it starts to change, because now we are we exude and we exist as a person who is heavy into consistency and who's heavy into that accountability piece and that discipline piece. So lastly, I'd like to leave you all with this quote that I came across, and it says, and it's from Gandhi, it says, "We but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. This is the divine mastery supreme. A wonderful thing it is, and the source of our happiness. We need not wait to see what others do." And I think that that's, a good end, to our conversation about discipline and consistency. And if we think about the last part of that quote, we need not wait to see what others do. That means it starts with us. Our discipline, our consistency, it starts with us. So I challenge you today, start with something small and start with something that you can do. Hopefully this was helpful for you.